There's a photo inside the Pentagon that people can't stop staring at. It came from a U.S. base in Kuwait. The image is brutal. A barracks ripped apart, steel beams twisted like pretzels, dust still hanging in the air. The casualty report says it all 6 American soldiers killed, several more critically wounded. The weapon wasn't some multi-million-dollar ballistic missile. It was an Iranian shahed drone, cheap, disposable, basically a flying bomb. At first glance, this just looks like another day in the Middle East, but what's keeping Pentagon planners awake at night is the accuracy. Security footage shows something strange. The drone didn't circle, it didn't hesitate, it didn't even adjust its path. It flew straight into the central ventilation shaft of the command bunker, dead center, like someone had a live GPS feed and simply dropped a pin. And then it happened again. Bahrain, a building next to the U.S. 5th Fleet headquarters, hit. Riyadh, a CIA-linked site inside the U.S. Embassy compound, destroyed. Northern Jordan, a THAAD radar battery knocked offline. Military analysts started asking the same question. Since when does Iran hit targets like this? For decades, Iran has had missiles, they've had drones, but they were missing one crucial thing: eyes. Modern warfare runs on something called the kill chain. Find, fix, track, target, engage, assess. Launching the missile is the easy part. Finding the target, that's the hard part. Historically, Iran has been shooting mostly blind. But what if someone handed them the coordinates? According to several U.S. officials, that might be exactly what's happening. Russia is reportedly sharing real-time intelligence with Iran. We're talking live data feeds, U.S. fighter jet launch windows, carrier strike group positions, exact coordinates of radar sites and command centers. If that's true, the mystery suddenly makes sense. Over the last few years, Russia has refined a deadly sensor-to-shooter network in Ukraine. Now that capability may be flowing to Tehran. Iran didn't suddenly become more accurate. They may have just plugged into Russia's satellite system. Overnight, they went from spray and pray attacks to surgical strikes. And make no mistake, this isn't charity, it's a transaction. For the past 2 years, Iran has supplied Russia with thousands of shahed drones used to pound Ukraine's power grid. Now Russia may be returning the favor. Classic geopolitical quid pro quo. As one U.S. intelligence officer reportedly put it, Washington has been giving Kyiv targeting data on Russian forces for years. Why wouldn't Moscow help Tehran target Americans? In other words, tit for tat on a global scale, and that reveals something bigger, a new model of warfare. Call it remote participation. Countries don't need to deploy troops. They don't even need to declare war. They just need to share data. One side provides the eyes, the other pulls the trigger. The battlefield becomes outsourced. In Ukraine, the United States calls its intelligence sharing, supporting a partner's self-defense. But if Russia does the same thing in the Middle East, the West calls it dangerous escalation. So here's the billion-dollar question. If a country hands an ally the coordinates to strike an enemy, are they already at war? In Ukraine, Washington says no. In the Middle East, Moscow will say the same thing. But for the 6 families in Kuwait who just lost a son, that distinction probably doesn't matter. The battlefield has gone digital, and the rules of war may have changed for good. I'm Daniel Wright, and this is World Really Works. See you in the next one.